okay, they got me. As you know, Sonic Prime Netflix show released yesterday, December 15th, and I was like, I've been saving that date for a while because I know the first thing I'm going to do is going to watch it and then review it for y'all. Because I made two videos back to back saying, well, one video was talking about how I basically thought it was going to flop and stuff was going to be ass, and then the second one, talking about characters I want to be in the show. I'll go over those things in a minute, but just know Sonic Prime did come out yesterday, and I already finished it. I watched 4 episodes yesterday, watched 4 today, and then I was like, okay, now it's time to do reviews. So first thing I'm going to say is it's going to be spoiler free. I know it's still, it recently came out, so I'm not going to spoil everything. And also I want to say sorry, because I really doubted y'all. I can't believe I doubted the Sonic team, but hey, it's not just me, it's like everybody else in the fandom, because, different releases of games that, proved to be failures over the past decade, and then, some TV shows that didn't hit, like the same as the other ones. So I was like, oh, this is going to be another misuse of Sonic, But they proved me wrong, and I will indeed say that Sonic Prime is actually a pretty darn nice show. So let's talk about it. Oh, let me give you a quick rundown of the plot. Sonic Prime is literally about Sonic and his gang, I guess, and they literally cause an incident in the beginning of the show with Eggman, and it causes Sonic and his friends to travel to a new world that was known as Green Hill Zone. Is now turned into a doomsday Eggman land, empire. And not just the land, Sonic friends too as well. They are changed, and Sonic has to, go back and find different ways to fix everything in the world. So it sounds simple, right? Yeah, it's kind of not, because there are different ways. First of all, when Sonic goes back and into this new world with Eggman and stuff, Sonic friends are not really the same as they were before. Actually, they kind of forget who Sonic was, because now that it's a new world, Eggman took over them. At least I think they didn't really explain this that much, but Eggman basically took over them, and they know that Eggman is their empire, but they don't know who Sonic is. So Sonic has to recreate relationships and rehash friendships with his friends, and try to recreate Green Hill Zone, aka bring back their home that it once was. That's basically the plot of it. And then as you can see, he goes on adventures. They have the multiverse thingy or sub. They said it in the show. I already forgot the name of it, but they travel through different dimensions, and they find different versions of themselves, whether that be in the jungle, pirates, or like a new world. Yeah, they are traveling, and it is interesting. Now, here's my highs and lows of the show. Now, right off the bat, I think the number one thing that impressed me the most was the animation. The animation of the show, now, I was the biggest critique, shout out to Chris, 2D was going to be the best option for this new show. Why they can't go back to 2D? It's going to be flow better, it's going to be smooth and stuff, but no, they proved me wrong, even though I still wish it was 2D. Show how it's directed the whole time, different camera movements, different, point of views was so dope, and the action was so smooth. It caught me by surprise, and I was like, man, this animation is smooth as hell. I was legit getting hyped watching it. I was like, hold on, this is kind of nice, you know what I'm saying? As you can tell by the clips I'm showing, yeah, this was literally beautifully drawn, beautifully animated, and I made me a big fan of 3D animation again, because I used to be a big fan of that back in the day, then I stopped, because anime, so yeah. Another thing in this show, that has to do with animation is the action scenes. Oh god, there was a whole bunch of these, and I'm talking about different ways, because as you know, robots and Eggman take over, so of course Sonic gotta fight different robots and shit. So Sonic was going crazy. I think each episode had like a crazy highlight or different maneuver to deal with the robots. Like, it was a nice sequence, and it really animated his movements and speed in this show, and I was like, this is a good thing. They're doing a good job at this. And they include some video games. I remember some shots was like you actually playing a video game with Sonic version, and I thought that was nice. Time to give some more credit where it's credit's due, and like I said, I caught this when I made the other video, and I talked about the world building in the show. It looked promising in the trailer, and then when it came out, I was right, man. See, the world building in the show, when they try, they can try, man. I will give the Sonic fandom, or the different games, their credit is they know how to build a new world, a new place for Sonic and his friends to explore. And I legit love that. I think one of my favorite sequences of the show is probably the jungle scenes. I don't know. I think it's because a different, vibe from it. Them going from that to the pirates to back to New York, as they call it. Not the R, the K-E, New York. Yeah, I kind of thought that was stupid. This leaves a promising future for the next season. I'll probably do a separate video about that too. Man, if they want to, they could legit create new worlds, and you could be easily immersed into that world. Cause I just felt like I was watching a Sonic Adventure anime, and I thought that was cool. Now, so I'm talking about the characters. Oh, what we do? All right, I've been waiting to do this. So I think you could run down the Sonic's game. Like I said, I did this in trailer, so I'm gonna repeat it again. So Sonic, Knuckles, Amy, Tails, and Rouge. Now, and I can't believe I almost got Big and Cat. Okay, so here's the thing with this show. I know I went over the highs and stuff. Let me quickly, interrupt that. So there's some pros and cons with this characters and how I feel about these. So first of all, Tails was legit an edgelord in the show, and I thought that was legit cool actually. I thought that that was interesting because like usually Tails kind of like whines a lot, and actually I remember there's this line in the show talking about how he hates whiners, and I was like that's pretty ironic. They went from that to different versions of Tails, like the jungle version, the pirate version. It was different from the Eggman, Edgelord Tails, and shit, but I think that's probably one of the best versions of Tails I've seen in a long time. So props up for that. Get like a different perspective of Tails. So I thought that was nice. And Knuckles, I hate his voice acting. I'm sorry, the voice acting was legit good in the show. I love Amy, Sonics, and even Rouge, but I hated Knuckles. I don't know why. It just something about he went from like having like this weird dark tone of voice, and then legit came from that to the accent, and I was like, bro, what is going on with his voice? I think it's just my personal preference because I even like this voice acting in Sonic Boom, and yeah, so I think that's just my issue, And Sonic, man, of course Sonic's the main character, and I would say he was overall legit great character. How can you hate Sonic? He does joke a lot, but then again, I think for his demographic and how Sonic is, as like a cocky character, yeah, they did a good job with Sonic. So, and now Amy, I think she's my favorite character. Her and Rouge, I give them, for time as my favorite characters because they carry the scene sometimes. Besides the Edgelord Tails, you can't, what I'm saying, you can't stop them. But no, Amy, I remember certain scenes like the jungle scene, aka when they low-key not copied, but like legit reference Rosie the Rascal. As my Sonic Archie fans out there, what I'm talking about. They know this is Rosie, man. Come on, bro. But yeah, basically, I love her in that jungle scene. I love how they, they used her in as a robot. I was like, man, she's a robot, but they're treating her as like a different person in the show. Like, I'm not gonna, spoil or what, but yeah, just they're treating her different. And it's like her presence in the show, it does change in the later on in the show. And it's like, damn, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And of course, there are different versions of these characters. I will say my favorite version of her is probably the jungle one, aka Rosie. But yeah, and Knuckles, my favorite version is probably the pirate one, and then Rouge. I don't know. I like the Eggman Rouge too. So here's the thing. I'm still a little iffy. I do wish they kind of like use Cream instead of her. I think there's some more kids that could benefit from that, fifth role. But Rouge, even though she wasn't really asked to be in the show, but hey, she carried low-key every scene that she was in there. I don't know, like she just stood out to me a lot too. And I think, she did a good job in the show. I love how they made me like her as more of a character because I didn't really care for her like that. But no, I like Rouge now, and I love her voice actor as well too. As for the other characters, they kind of hold some of them. Well, I should give y'all a warning too because, so you don't be disappointed. But Shadow in this show, he does get sidelined, unfortunately, and he does make a presence, early on the show. And he does have one of my favorite scenes in the whole show with Sonic, that little sequence they had together, like episode 2, I think. That direction the show beautifully, like, animated, and just Shadow just go easily. He does feature throughout the episodes, but, like, as much as the main cast presence, he's not there. Like, come on. Man, I'm like, bro, he's one of the best characters. They at least have him, like be included in, like, at least a 10-minute scene or something like that. No, he didn't even last for that long, besides, I think, episode 2. But, yeah, like, come on, bro. That was, like, one glimpse of Shadow, and they should have added more of him. And it looks like, oh, dang, I don't want to spoil the ending. I'd say that for another video. But yeah, and also Big the Cat, legit probably the worst character in the show. Just like a blob, bro. He's just there for like comedic relief, I guess, but he does nothing at all. I guess he just, even in other shows, like even Sonic Heroes, he's more using that game than, this show. Like, hey, could have added somebody else instead of him, like Styx, for God's sake. Like, come on, at least add her in this, instead of him. He does nothing, bro. And whoever this character was, I don't know. Why was she angry all the time, bro? Like, I don't understand her. And yeah, those are the characters. And Eggman was, pretty dope. Like I said, different version of him. I thought that was a cool idea. The baby version, the old version, and then the main one with that goofy ass hair. Like, yeah, I thought that was nice. Yeah, but overall, I think Sonic Prime is like overall a good show. And oh, I gotta go with my lows. So my lows of the show, I'm gonna go real quick, so I made this video too long. There were a lot of kid jokes in this, some that made me cringe often, and I was like, yeah, I forgot I'm a 22-year-old man, so this is why it doesn't like make me laugh even a bit. But hey, there were some scenes that did make me laugh out loud, and I thought that was pretty nice. So, but overall, it was like saturated with kid jokes, but it didn't ruin the show for me, but it was there a lot, and I was like, ugh. And another one was like, well, not really, I guess it's not their fault, because this is a TV series, because, I understand that it could be next season, but like, there's some missing characters I thought that could be added in the show, and they didn't come. So scratch that, I said that, because I know next season could be like a possibility that might happen. So yeah, I shut up about that. And also, I will say that Sometimes in this show that something really doesn't make sense a lot. Like some stuff just happens and I'm like, why is this happening? Or like, how did this happen? And it kind of like just brush over it a lot because, you know, it was 8 episodes, so I guess the pacing was like a little fast. But it didn't bother me like that, but it did like, sometimes I did ask what was going on. But then again, it's a Sonic show and it just, it did chill sometimes, but you know, sometimes he has my master review skills, you know, I just got to point that out. One last thing that is that the show gets repetitive sometimes. Like, it's not like a major thing, but it is like a minor thing. There were action scenes each episode, and sometimes like stuff would happen, like, you know, they would forget Sonic in each dimension, and it's like, yeah, you gotta recreate things. It's like, okay, I know it's gonna happen again. And you know, I feel like maybe because I binged it that quick, and I think it's a watch like every Saturday morning thing, then it probably won't get old to you, but like sometimes it gets old to me, and then it's like, yeah, it's kind of repeating some stuff. But overall, I say I give it like a solid 8.6 to be different. But yeah, no, the show is actually good. And if you're a Sonic fan, you will pretty much like the show. In fact, I actually love the show to a certain extent. But you know, it wasn't Sonic X to me, and that show is peak perfection to me. So if I could rank on like a Sonic shows, I guess, list, it would be below Sonic Mania and Underground. But I'll have it above Sonic Boom and the Sonic Hedgehog series. So, you know, I say it's somewhere in the middle. Actually, you know what? I think it's above Sonic Mania a little bit. So below Sonic Underground, below Sonic X, but above Mania and Boom. So yeah. So overall good. So I think you like Sonic Prime, and I can't wait for the next season. Believe it or not. So yeah, I'm already ready for next season, man. Get that shit going. Like, hey, go and work on it now, cause I am ready, man. I hate that cliffhanger they left, man, in a good way, by the way. But with that being said, I gotta go and gotta edit this video. So I'll catch y'all next one. And I'm making a part 2 of this video. I'm gonna talk about what I want to see in next season. So yeah, hope y'all enjoy, and I catch y'all next one. I am out. Bye. Whoa.